Here's a number that never shows up in the AI music debate. $105 billion. That's what the global music industry generated in 2023. Not streaming revenue, not recorded music, the whole thing. Live events, sync licensing, merchandise, publishing, recorded music, performance rights, everything. $105 billion. In almost every conversation about AI music is focused on one slice of one segment of that number. Let me show you what I mean. Of that $105 billion, streaming accounts for roughly $20 billion. That's the segment everyone is fighting about. That is the revenue pool AI music is supposedly threatening. So before we go any further, we're already talking about 19% of the total industry. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Deezer reported that AI-generated music accounts for about 18% of uploads to their platform. That number gets cited constantly as evidence that AI is taking over music. Here's what it doesn't tell you. Uploads are not streams. Actual AI music listening share on major platforms sits around 1.5% of total streams, 18% of uploads, 1.5% of listens. The gap between those two numbers is the gap between a flood of content and an audience that has actually chosen to engage with it. Those are very different things. Apply that 1.5% to the global streaming revenue pool, and you get roughly $306 million currently flowing to AI-generated music across all platforms. That's the actual size of the competitive threat in dollar terms today. $306 million in a $105 billion industry. Now, let's talk about what that means for the median independent artist. Not Taylor Swift, the median. Someone earning around $3,000 a year from streaming. The portion of that $3,000 theoretically displaced by AI competition right now works out to be about $45 per year. $45. Even at the CISAC 2028 projection, where AI music grows to 20% of streaming, that displacement grows to roughly $600 per year for the median artist. That's real, and it deserves to be taken seriously, but it's not the extinction level event that the loudest voices in this debate are describing. Here's the part that actually matters. $101 billion of the industry doesn't care whether your track was made with a guitar or a generative model. Live music doesn't care. Sync licensing doesn't care. It cares whether the track fits the brief. Publishing revenue doesn't care. Merchandise doesn't care. The entire argument against AI music is concentrated in the smallest, most commoditized, lowest margin segments of the industry. The per stream royalty on a platform that pays fractions of a cent per play. The creators who are going to win the next decade aren't the ones who successfully lobbied to slow down AI adoption. They are the ones who understood the landscape clearly and built catalogs and revenue streams that aren't entirely dependent on Spotify pennies. Know the actual numbers. Make your decision from there. If you're building a catalog and a revenue strategy that goes beyond streaming royalties, Red Lab Access is where that system lives. jgbeatslab.com/red-lab-access. Link is in the description.